Hey y'all, I wanted to get on here and talk about my feelings about Trump being president. President as payback for letting Obama be president. When Obama was president, I was in 5th grade. It was 2008. My mother supported the campaign locally, and me and my siblings got to help support my mom support the campaign. So we made signs, we went out knocking door to door, asking people to register to vote, different things like that. The amount of bullying I got from my own friends just because my family was voting for Obama and we were black, so they assumed we were voting for Obama, was crazy. People would take the buttons off my book bag. Anything Obama related on our house would get torn down. Like our signs, our handmade Obama signs would get torn down from our house. People were really hateful about us liking Obama. They also automatically assumed we were voting for Obama because we were black, and the whole thing was that we should not be voting for this man just because he's black, because he's not qualified. But that is literally racist. Just because a black person is in a place that you don't expect them to be doesn't mean they're not qualified to be there. I'm 26 years old. I've been treated this way. At a previous job, I was treated like I was a mistake for being there because I was black. So I know what it's like to be in Obama's position. I'm basically the Barack Obama of my life. So angry to see a black man who was articulate, who was educated, who had a beautiful family, who represented so many good things about America. They were so angry to see a black person being shown in a light that they don't want to see black people in. And by they, I mean racist people. Racist people of any skin tone, any race, any ethnic background. Shoot, even sometimes our own even the African American background, there could be some people who are racist against themselves. Internalized racism, it's not new. We would have never had Trump if we had not had Obama. I'm still happy Obama was elected because that did so much for my inspiration and joy for the next 8 years, like especially when he got reelected. That did so much for me feeling like I have a journey I'm embarking on as an African-American person in this country, and there's people in front of me who I want to be like. There's inspiration. I'm not alone. Like that whole family, Michelle Obama, Malia, Sasha, like just seeing them exist was inspiration for me as a black person, and I bet it was inspiration for other black young kids too, to try to make the best of the life that was given to them, regardless of the disadvantages, regardless of the racism we face, regardless of all the negative things that can come into this life. And the thing is, I only got into politics a little bit in 2016 when I was 18, you know, finally able to vote. When 2020 came, I had to just let all the political stuff go because I was so tired of seeing every day on the news another black person being killed for being black, another black person being shot at, injured, just something negative towards black people in the community who are innocent. I couldn't stand it anymore. It was too heartbreaking to watch, and so I gave up the news. Like I stopped. I backed out of it, you know, and some people think that's irresponsible. Some people would say, no, Asia, like you need to be responsible socially and be in tune. Like it's a privilege for you to be able to back out. First of all, I say this, I'm black. I'm black so I can do what I want. My race, my gender is the most discriminated against in this country, besides probably transgender people and maybe Native Americans. So you're not gonna tell me, someone who's experienced racism so many days of their lives, growing up in a small white hick of a town. I feel like a lot of these people who are progressive and liberal, they haven't gotten real life experience with what it's like to deal with being discriminated against. And that's not their fault that they haven't gotten that experience, but they haven't gotten it, and so they don't know what it's like to have to actually live with that. And one thing I will tell you is that when you live with that and that is your life, you become jaded. I am very jaded towards Trump being president again. Because I'm just like, how is this any worse than how things have always been for black people? Have we ever had it be 100% fair? No. Has it ever been in our favor? Have we ever had to stop working twice as hard to get where the white man gets? No. I mean, I'm disappointed that he's president, but I'm not over here posting all over my social media. I'm not over here mourning and feeling super sad every day because I don't have the time for that. I need to breathe life into I need to breathe energy into my life right now and what I'm doing for myself. I need to breathe energy into getting a job again. I need to breathe energy into having a social life and being happy, taking care of my hair, taking care of my health. I don't have time to be moping over Trump being president when this is the same America we've always lived in. And you can't just erase that with one presidency. Obama being president didn't erase that. So Trump being president doesn't bring it all back. Like, it was always there. Feel free to be black and queer and a woman and jaded. feel free, because like we've seen the brunt of it. We know what it's like to be picked last purely because of what we look like and what we represent. We know what it's like for our identity to always be political, to never just be a person, to always be a black person. I don't want to be a part of all of this political stuff right now because it's too much, it's too exhausting, and it's just too heartbreaking at the end of the day to see the same things happen over and over again. The one thing I do know is that change does come and change does happen. And so I always have faith that no matter how bad it seems to be getting or seems to have gotten, there will still be change and the future will still be brighter than it is right now. So I do think there will be a light at the end of the tunnel of this presidency that is Trump. And I want you to feel some degree of positivity too about that. Don't think the world is gonna end, because it's not. As a person who's grown up in this black body in a racist country, who does not give a shit about what happens to my people and if anything tries to oppress us, we have always thrived and we will make it out of this. And things will be okay again. As time goes on, things always get more progressive and more liberal. Things don't get more conservative as time goes on. There's a reason why we call it conservative, because it's in the past. Extreme conservatism, extreme to the rightness, is definitely not the future. And so I'm not worried about that. I dislike Trump supporters more than I dislike Trump because of how emboldened they feel to be racist, to be sexist, to be homophobic. I feel like Trump himself don't even be saying that much sometimes. It's just his followers. I will say this presidency does seem like it might be a little bit calmer, at least in terms of antics. I feel like Trump's first term was just filled with antics. Every 2 seconds you saw something on Twitter about him doing this, saying that. He said so many outrageous things. I do feel like he has calmed down a little bit since then. Not saying he isn't lethal anymore. He's still lethal, because that whole Project 2025 shit sounds ridiculous, and the people he's been appointing to his cabinet are ridiculous. So he's still lethal, but at least it's not filled with so much antics, and it's not just so I feel like bait and switch and shock value and just grabbing your attention. Ugh, I hated that part of his presidency. Like, just be mature. The one thing that I can see as potentially positive for Trump being president is the economy may get better. Notice how I said may. It's not guaranteed, it's not for sure, it's just a possibility. I don't know all the details of Trump's like plans for the economy, because I just don't delve that deeply into politics. I see what I see from this. I am the standard American, I believe. I believe I have the view on politics that the standard American has, where I'm a little bit knowledgeable, but I don't know all the facts and details. I don't spend my energy and time getting into this, because at the end of the day, I can't make a difference outside of my voting once every 4 years in my voting locally. All I know is when it comes to the economy, it's kind of hard to strike a perfect balance, because no matter what, someone's gonna be on the short end of the stick. If you make one thing good for one set of people, it's gonna disadvantage another set of people. That's one thing I understand about the economy. And so I'm just hoping that I'll be on the long end of the stick during this Trump presidency. Thank you for watching this video. I know my opinions are not the most educated. I don't have a lot of like actual information to give. This is just mainly an opinion piece, just for you to not feel alone, just to get a black person's perspective who grew up with the Trumps of the world. Take that as you may, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more videos of me talking about things like this, just let me know in the comments below, and have a good day.